The forest won't let go. Marina no longer felt herself running. She only heard Maxim's heavy breathing beside her and the distant whispers from the shadows. Adam was gone, but this wasn't over. The forest was moving. The trees shifted, narrowing the path, closing in, setting traps. They ran, but each turn felt like they were being led back to where they started. "We're going in circles?" Marina gasped, breathless. Maxim said nothing, clutching the fern flower. Its light was no longer as bright as before. Then a figure appeared ahead. It was Adam, but not the Adam they knew. His face was pale and gray, his eyes hollow, his lips stretched into a disturbing, unnatural smile. He stood between them and the path, waiting. Marina grabbed Maxim's arm. "That's not him." Her voice trembled. Adam took a step forward, and behind them, laughter, the giggling of mavkas, the whispers of courts, the heavy breathing of something massive. They were surrounded. Maxim gripped the fern flower tighter. Something had to save them. But what? The forest was waiting. Trapped between worlds, Adam stood motionless. His face was like a mask of frozen smile, empty eyes, the shadow of a mavka still clinging somewhere nearby. Marina felt the cold seep into her bones. Behind them, the dark ones were closing in. The mavkas sang their haunting melodies, their voices weaving through the air like invisible hands, luring them into the abyss. The courts laughed, whispering unseen words that sent chills down their spines. Something massive, perhaps, that Leshy himself moved deep within the forest, shifting trees as if they were mere blades of grass. We have to move," Marina whispered, unable to take her eyes off Adam. Maxim also did not look away, and then Adam stepped forward. "You will not leave." His voice was not his own. It was many voices at once, layered on top of each other, like something not of this world. "We already have the flower," Maxim shouted defiantly. "The forest must let us go." The whispers rose. "The flower is not yours. You were never meant to touch it. Give it back." "It's a trick," Marina murmured. "They want us to drop it." Maxim gripped the fern flower tighter, and then the forest began to change. The trees bent, as if their roots were being pulled from beneath the earth. The darkness thickened, pressing in, like the forest itself was sealing off any escape. Then Adam took another step, and suddenly his eyes changed. Tears rolled down his pale face. "Get me out of here," he whispered. And at that moment, the first rooster crowed, far away from the village. The dark entities froze. Was this the real Adam, or a cruel deception? Give up the flower or run? The forest was waiting. A choice that changes fate. Marina clutched Maxim's hand, her eyes filled with tears. "If that's really Adam, we can't leave him behind." Maxim never looked away from the figure standing before them. Adam no longer spoke. He only stared. Tears shimmered in his eyes, but within them darkness swirled. The creatures of the night had fallen silent, waiting for what they would do next. "If it's really him," Maxim whispered, "he has to choose for himself." Then he reached out a hand, the fern flower still glowing in the other. "Come with us," Maxim said firmly. "If you're really Adam, you have to step forward on your own." The whispers in the forest hissed. "No, not your will. He is already ours." Adam's eyes flickered, and then He took a step forward. His hand reached toward Maxim, and in that instant something unseen grabbed him. From the darkness, black tendrils thin as twisted branches wrapped around him, pulling him back. His eyes changed again, not empty now, but filled with fear, pain, desperation. "No," Marina screamed, lunging forward, but Maxim held her back. Adam struggled. His hands clawed at the air, his lips whispering, "Help me." Maxim grabbed his arm, but the shadows were stronger. The creatures of the forest howled, the trees shuddered. Marina sobbed, and then Adam smiled. The real Adam. He let go. "Run," he whispered, and the shadows dragged him into the darkness. The last thing they heard his scream, lost in the night. And then, from the village, the rooster crowed one final time. The forest's call. The sun rose over the horizon, chasing away the last remnants of the night. The village awoke, its people stepping out of their homes, unaware of what had unfolded in the darkness. But at the edge of the forest, two figures remained still. Maxim and Marina stood before the guardian oak, their hearts heavy with loss. They still couldn't believe Atum was gone. But the forest remembered. Maxim gripped the fern flower tighter. It was lifeless. "What do we do?" Marina's voice trembled. Maxim didn't answer. He felt something. The forest was watching. And then they heard it. A whisper. A voice they knew. It drifted through the branches, carried by the wind, distant but unmistakable. "Help me." Marina covered her mouth with her hand. It was Atum. Maxim took a step back. The whisper faded, but did not disappear. The forest did not return its victims, but it had offered them a choice. Maxim met Marina's gaze. She understood. If they went back in, they might not return. But could they live with themselves, knowing they had left their friend behind? Without a word, they stepped into the forest. The guardian oak remained behind them. The village awakened with the morning sun. But deep within the woods, the darkness stirred once more, changed forever. Marina and Maxim stepped out of the forest just as the morning sun spread its golden light across the land. They walked slowly, silently, carrying an invisible weight that no one else could see. At the forest's edge, near the dying embers of the bonfire, the village youth still lingered, some dozing on the grass, others whispering quietly, watching the last flickers of the fire. When they saw Marina and Maxim return, all heads turned. But these were not the same two people who had entered the woods. Their faces were gaunt, their eyes shadowed, untouched even by the warmth of the rising sun. But the most terrifying thing, their hair was streaked with silver. A hush fell over the crowd. "Where is Atum?" someone finally asked. Marina pressed her lips together. Maxim's vacant gaze swept over them. The forest took him. His words dropped into the silence like a stone into deep water. What do you mean? You didn't leave him, did you? What happened?" But they didn't answer. They only repeated the same words. The oak took him, those who had mocked the legends only the night before, now clutched their protective charms in silence. The elder, still seated by the fire, never took his knowing eyes off them. He did not ask. He already knew. As they approached him, he simply sighed. "I warned you," he murmured. Maxim and Marina only nodded. Their fates had changed. They no longer belonged fully to this world. They had seen what should never be seen. They had touched a secret meant to remain hidden. Marina lowered her gaze. Maxim clenched his fists. As the others drifted away, haunted by the fear of that night, the two of them knew. The forest was not finished with them. The guardian oak had not spoken its final word. And somewhere deep within the shadowed woods, where the morning light had not yet reached, a whisper echoed once more, "Help me, the end or a new beginning?"